Welcome back. I'm Coach Brian with Northwest Elite Spirit, and I'm going over my last video, Reality versus Perception, from A Separate Reality by Carlos Castaneda. To get the full book, you should go and buy the book or listen to the audio book. And there's a whole series of those that you can listen to. And in this section, Carlos has smoked the little smoke at Don Juan's direction, and he saw something when he was in that. And what he saw was that when he looked directly at Don Juan, it looked like Don Juan, and when he looked away, it was like a glowing entity. And Don Juan is saying to him, "So what? You saw a glow. It's nothing." And it just so happens that the little smoke causes you to gaze like that. And I think that's an important word, to gaze like that. Because to gaze means to look steadily and intently, especially in admiration, surprise, or thought. And so it's basically telling him, like with anything else, like if you drink, you'll be in one mood and you may see things one way, or if you smoke marijuana, it can put you in another mood and cause you to see things other ways. And it just so happens that the little smoke causes you to look at things in adoration. And so it's no big deal. And it just so happens that you like me, so you saw my glow. And he doesn't say a glow, as if Don Juan saw something that wasn't there, like he was hallucinating. He said my glow. And I think we do all have a glow, especially when we're in a good mood or something. But and I think we've all like seen somebody where we're like, "Oh man, you're glowing." You may have even commented on it, or somebody commented to you that you were glowing. So we know that people can have a glow, and I think Don Juan is referencing that. And Carlos was able to see it a little more, being that he was intoxicated and also had admiration for Don Juan. So it's no big deal. Carlos says, "Was it seeing?" And Don Juan says it wasn't seeing. It's like seeing. And I think what that is so he's on the path. Once you can start seeing different points of view, then you're on the path to seeing clearly. Again, let me say that I'm a student just like you guys. I'm out here practicing, life, and currently practicing these little snippets that I'm learning from the Carlos Castaneda books. So it's a practice towards seeing. So it's like, okay, you've taken a step. You've taken some practice towards seeing. You've noticed that there are different points of view that exist. It's not like something that's not there. And when you see clearly, you notice that there's no one way of seeing. And so every new way is a start. And so you start to see that there's no one way of seeing. So once you've got 2 ways of seeing, 3 ways of seeing, it's like seeing. You're on your way. Man, and even so, going into like nothing is new, or going into everything is new, and where is it? Oh, he says everything is new. And I know, having experienced some deja vu, I can get the experience that, or get the feeling that nothing is new, and I've been through this all before. But then if I pay attention, even when I have deja vu, the plot strays at some point, and I think that's a inclination towards this infinite. And Don Juan says that Carlos focused on him, and this is what hindered Carlos. And what I think, when he says that Carlos focused on him, I think he means that Carlos focused on Carlos's perception of him. Not him, but the framework Carlos has built around Don Juan. And he says, in this case, I'm no better than the guardian for you. And that's why I suggest go reading the book. You have to go notice the guardian, which Carlos experiences on another session with psychedelics. So Carlos is focused on Don Juan, and Don Juan says, in which case I'm no better than the guardian for you. And the guardian can be seen as like a bad thing, I guess. And Don Juan could be seen as a good thing. And I think Don Juan's point is, like, either way, the result is the same. Carlos doesn't reach his task. He doesn't see. So in that case, Don Juan is no better than the guardian for him. And I think that's a reference towards also like and dislike. If you like something or dislike something, who cares if the results are the same? And again, and I don't know if Carlos ever got it, but Don Juan gives him a very direct answer. Carlos asks Don Juan, how is it possible that anything could disappear without vanishing? Because Don Juan is telling him, like, you saw me, but you didn't, or you saw me, but you didn't see me. And what he means was he didn't see him clearly as he is, with no likes or dislikes. And he's trying to explain to Carlos that, like, though a man may vanish, he is still there. And Carlos asks, how is this possible? And Don Juan says, you have the damnedest insistence on talking. And I think Carlos is always trying to pin down what's in front of him, rather than just seeing it and allowing it to be what it is. He's always trying to persuade it into his perception of how things are and what is and what isn't. Carlos insists with words on molding everything towards his preconceived perceptions, and this is what is blocking him. Once again, I'm Coach Brian with Northwest Elite Spirit. This has been, you could say, Reality versus Perception Part 2. It is what it is, or is it? Subscribe, like, comment, share, and of course, practice. Thank you.